that was playing. It's 50 years since ABBA graced our stages, the Eurovision stages, and they've said, nope.
No, they have absolutely categorically stated that they won't be taking part in Eurovision next year. I think there are extenuating health circumstances for one or two of the original lineup. So, we can understand that. I'm sure they'll be there in spirit.
This is true. And the fact that it's the 50th anniversary, they're not exactly spring chickens anymore.
No, that's very true. Although they did rock some fantastic beards over the years. So for which I'm very grateful. Speaking as somebody who is hirsute himself.
I shaved mine off actually last week. Mine was doing all right, and I did clip it off. It's a bit warm, isn't it?
No, it's never too warm for a beard. Never too warm.
Never too warm. This time last week, you were off in cross hands with Sophie and some others learning. How did that go?
It went very, very well. Yeah, we were all engaged in some training, some prayer spaces in schools training, and we got to pretend that we were kids and get our hands mucky and that sort of stuff.
Pretend?
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Fair play. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the Reverend Sophie is a lot younger than me, so she doesn't have to pretend quite so much.
And live and kicking last Sunday, Pentecost. Big show, and an even bigger show coming up this Sunday.
Yes, that's right. It is probably the thorniest theological issue this Sunday. It's the Trinity and how you can try to explain to other people something that you don't necessarily understand yourself. Shh, don't tell my boss that.
So this is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Is that
that's
the Trinity?
Right, yep.
Okay.
3 in 1 and 1 in 3, indivisible, indistinguishable. Ineffable, that's the word I like. Ineffable.
Oh, I like that.
Because it means you cannot comprehend it. In other words, you can't F it at all.
Wow. Fantastic. So you're going to do your best with Reverend Sophie this coming Sunday. So if you want to learn more about that, then Live and Kicking is the place to be.
8 a.m.
8 a.m. on a Sunday. Now, it is Grati-Tuesday. That's why you're here, Father Neil. We've had one message in for Grati-Tuesday. It was from our good friend Rachel, regular listener to The Breakfast Show. She's grateful for Gavin, Josh and Ethan and the NHS staff at Withybush who looked after her on Friday. I don't like people falling into dire circumstances, but isn't it great when you've got people around you and the NHS to help care for you?
Yeah, it really, really is. And actually that links in quite nicely with what I'm grateful for today, because one of the things that people do complain about with the NHS is the waiting around, the waiting times, and the sitting in casualty. But of course, what we don't actually realise is what's going on behind the scenes. If you've walked into casualty because you've hurt yourself, then absolutely, you can be a little bit frustrated about having to wait, but you don't know who's arrived by ambulance, by blue light, round the corner, and who the staff are all triaging and seeing to. Over the last 72 hours, I've had the opportunity for work to have to drive from Haverfordwest through Llandovery and out the other side. And the Erdd Eisteddfod is on in Llandovery. Small town, lots and lots of people, very long traffic jams. I am thankful this morning. I am grateful this morning for the traffic jam.
Grateful for the traffic jam?
I am, yeah. Because you know what? There is nowhere that you absolutely have to be on, or very, very few places and times where you absolutely have to be there, such that you have to sort of forget everything and almost endanger your life to be there. And I knew I was going to be late when I hit Llandovery the first time on Saturday, but I was in the car with some other people and we thought, we're going to turn this situation upside down. The sun was shining. There was some fantastic music on the radio. We were outside the county, so we couldn't pick up Pure West. I know. But we were able to play a little bit of radio roulette where you just hit the stations randomly. And as soon as the music comes up, first person to come in with the track or the artist wins a point. And then you hit the random button again. And nice. You just keep going up and down the radio waves. And we played some games. We played Snog, Marry, Kill in the car with some other clerics. And we just had a really good chat. And you know what? It was a bit of unexpected time. And this is what I think the traffic jam gives you. Whether it is a sunny day or whether it's a miserable day, you suddenly have this space on your hands to reflect, to think, to contemplate if you're by yourself, to share with other people. It's all about the attitude. In the Old Testament, Moses was leading the Israelites across the desert, and they were tired, but most importantly, they were thirsty, and they were grumbling, and they were upset. Imagine 3 toddlers in a car a traffic jam on the motorway. That's where they were. So Moses uses his staff and he hits a stone, and water gushes out of the stone, and suddenly their thirst is quenched, but also their misery is transformed to joy. That's what we need to do. And it's not just about traffic jams. You may find yourself in a queue for the bank. You may find yourself in a situation unexpectedly where you're having to hang around, and it can get frustrating. But take the opportunity to, we all carry these fantastic microprocessor computers on our phone. Send some messages to people you haven't seen for a while. Send some love. Catch up with a bit of reading. Catch up with a bit of praying. Turn to the person next to you. You know what we're like in this country. If you're queuing in the bank and it's moving quite quickly, you can turn to them and say, this queue's going a bit quicker than I expected. And suddenly you're in a conversation with a new friend. Or it's not moving at all. Oh, it's typical, isn't it? You wait and you wait and you wait and you wait. It doesn't matter. It's all about the attitude in gratitude.
Father Neil, I love it. And listening to you talk there, I actually quite enjoy being stuck in a traffic jam myself. I didn't realize it until you were just talking there. I spend a lot of my time up and down the M4. But there's something about human nature. We like to be in control. We like to do things. Being in a traffic jam is where you just have to surrender that control and just enjoy that moment that you're in, whether it's music or a podcast, whatever you've got on your phone. If you've got hands free, catch up with someone. It's, as you say, it's that bonus time that you've just got to wait it out. So you might as well enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Father Neil.
You're always welcome.
How's the rest of your half term looking?
It's looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to have the opportunity to spend some time outside, which is always good because we've got this amazing weather at the moment. So I'm not just going to be stuck behind a desk this week.
Lovely. And if you're watching this on social media or you've been listening in on the smart speaker or on the mobile app, then please do let us know what you're grateful for. What do you do when you're stuck in traffic? Do you surrender yourself? Do you sing as loud as you can and have a bit of a carpool karaoke with your friends and neighbours in the other lanes next to you? We'd love to hear from you. If you want to hear more from Father Neil and Reverend Sophie, Alive and Kicking, Sunday,
8 till 9 a.m. with this Sunday. We're going to be talking about the Trinity, but you can always catch up with us via the Pure West Radio website, where the podcasts are available, not just for our show, but for all of the wonderful shows across the Pure West family.
Fantastic. We started off talking about Eurovision because we had ABBA and Dancing Queen. After a few moments, we're going to have Mae Muller. And I wrote a song, not the greatest entry, but she got it. She got to do it.
Absolutely.
Sophie Ellis-Bextor and Avicii will also be coming up for you at 17 minutes past 9 o'clock here on Pure West Radio.
If I'm going out on my new paddleboard, the last thing I'm taking is